Just machining up a set of 103 cases to fit on factory Harley Davidson 110 cubic inch barrels. So what happens here, these barrels are genuine Harley Davidson barrels, so this outside diameter of the barrel is bigger than the Screaming Eagle 110 bolt-on kit. So they make the 110 bolt-on kit with a thin sleeve here so it fits onto the factory cases with no machining, but these particular 110 barrels, the factory Harley Davidson ones, are bigger, and how you tell the difference between them is this cutaway here. That's a genuine Harley 110 barrel, so if you've got that barrel, you're going to be machining the cases. And there's a few other tricks as well. So machine the case idea, I'll do it on the boring bar, so I'm cutting a bore out, but I'm clocked it up on this angle plate, and I'm machining the hole here to 106.5mm. That gives me around about 10th hour clearance in the case for the barrel to expand. And then I'm going 112mm OD on the O-ring groove OD at 85th hour deep, and that'll give the correct crush on that. There's a few other tricks as well here. So this is the O-ring, the all drain O-rings and the barrel O-ring. It's a Chromatic Viton orange. That's the correct kit for this dimensions of these machining I'm doing to these barrels. So if you try to use a original Harley 110 Screaming Eagle O-rings, you're going to come unstuck with that. The barrels are going to be sticking up in the air and leaking oil. So these are the correct, for these O-ring grooves that I've cut, this is the correct chromatic part number. So they're a square O-ring, they're not a round O-ring, they're a square style O-ring, and that's about 115 thick. So that'll sit up 20-25 thou, and that'll give you the crush on that O-ring as you pull the barrels down. And these have to be used as well. These are correct for this this combo, because the outer diameter of the O-ring groove actually cuts into the drain hole groove. You see on the side there, it actually cuts into it. So if you don't use a square orange O-ring, if you use the original blue O-ring or green O-ring that comes with the factory barrels, that'll stick up and it'll foul and it'll hold the barrels up and it'll leak oil. So there's a couple of tricks there for anybody that's doing this. No need to modify the center bolt. You just see a shadow there where it's just cutting into it, but no need to modify that. That won't foul on anything. Don't go out so far to need to do that. So this dimension here has to go down to 1.65 deep, because the piston will actually come out the bottom of the barrel and it'll hit the factory block in that area there. So I have to split the cases after and then put the crank in with 2 pistons and 2 barrels on, so I can see, I'll bring the pistons down and see at the bottom, make sure they do clear here as well. So that should be enough distance there. If the guy wants to run a stroke or crank later, that'll clear. So but yeah, after this exercise I'll just slide the crank in and check it, and yeah, that's how to fit up the 110 genuine Harley barrels onto 103 engine.